Hey!
Listen up closely, okay? This is very important news. I'm giving away $500. All you have to do is follow my Facebook page and leave a comment on one of the videos. It's
Russian etiquette and babushka. Da. A babushka is a sacred person in Russian culture. So when you see a babushka, you give her the most respect. And not just your babushka. I'm talking any babushka. Even if it's little Timmy's babushka. You treat her like you would treat your own. You see a babushka on a busy metro or a busy bus, you give up your seat. You don't even think about doing it. You just do it. It's a massive sign of respect. So I took that mindset to Rebirth Island and gave up my seat in the matchmaking lobbies for these three. The babushka way. Всего доброго и до свидания.
God please, Soviet Union. Hello, doctor, where am I?
You are in the Soviet Union.
What time is it now?
25 December 1991. Why is there a national anthem in the middle of the night? Anymore, son, you are Russia.
At least I was born in Soviet and was once Soviet.
My night cook. Don't worry, we're gonna go out. What do you guys want?
spaghetti.
Oh, I thought you said something else.
I do too, but let's go get some buggers.
Fuck!
Let's go get some buggers.
Here's what would happen if the 25 most religious states in America went to war against the 25 least religious states. First up, we have the Holy Christian States of America, which is literally the entire South and Southern Midwest states and Utah. Next are the United States of America, which include the West Coast, Upper Midwest, and Northeast. The first fighting happens in the Midwest, where the Christians take over almost all of Illinois and North Dakota. The atheists are tough, but they fight hard and try to hold out to the other Christian forces. The Christians, blessed by the divine power of Jesus Christ, launch a holy crusade into Pennsylvania and New York. They succeed, and the states are conquered. Tell me who you think will win the comments.
In late 1867, Alaska was transferred from the ownership and dominion of the Russian Empire to the United States. It was sold for the princely sum of $7.2 million, and for most it's just a footnote in history. A question that should be asked is, why did Russia decide to sell its overseas colony? Furthermore, why did it sell it to the United States and why not, say, Britain or some other colonial power? So the primary reason for the sale of Alaska was Russia's defeat in the Crimean War. The war had done several things. The first was that it had largely bankrupted Russia, which was struggling to repay the debts it had racked up in order to fight the war. The second was that the victories of the Royal Navy over the modernising Russian Navy had made it clear that Russia had a long way to go before it could challenge Britain at sea. As such, it was realised by the Russian leadership break out, there was little to stop Britain from simply conquering the territory via Canada. So what type of territory was Alaska? For a start, it wasn't called Alaska at the time, but simply Russian America. And for the Russian Empire, it provided several things. First of all was the prestige that came with owning an overseas territory. As for its economic benefits, Alaska was a much more mixed bag, which combined with the cost to protect it, you can see why the sale was necessary. Incidentally, the sale of Russian America was broached by Emperor Alexander II's brother, the Grand Duke Constantine, who wanted to strengthen and liberalise the empire after the defeat in the Crimean War. It didn't take much to convince the emperor to agree to the sale, but now the question was, to who? Well, Britain was an obvious contender, given that its North American lands were already attached to Russian America, and they already had the right to navigate its waters and trade with the colony. So why didn't they sell to Britain? Well, Russia and Britain were imperial rivals, and to give Britain a large coastline so close to Russia was potentially dangerous. Also, Britain wasn't interested, since Canada is already huge and Britain had enough access to the Pacific Ocean. Thus, the United States of America was really the only likely candidate for the purchase. Russia had approached the US in the early 1860s concerning the purchase, but they were undergoing this little-known event called the American Civil War, and so were a bit busy. After the war was settled and the US had to deal with the issues of Reconstruction, the purchase of Alaska was seen as a useful distraction. The Russian Empire was also keen to keep up the ongoing good relations with the Americans, because as an ally they would be useful. It was agreed in March 1867 between the governments of the US and Russia that Alaska would be bought, but how did they come up with the price? Well, Russia had sent a team of surveyors to look for things like natural resources and to see how good life in Alaska was. And it was determined that Alaska was worth about $10 million. However, the surveyors argued that Alaska shouldn't be sold at all and that the governance of it simply be ignored this, and both sides negotiated until the sum of $7.2 million was agreed. In October 1867, it was transferred to America, and Russia's attention would thereafter be focused to the south and to the west. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and thank you for watching, with extra thanks to my patrons that you see on screen now. And this is my mom and dad, King and Queen, and this is me, sitting 5 seats away from the throne. But after 2 of my siblings got into an accident, I was 4th, which gave me an idea. What if my other siblings just...
Who is this woman and why is she eating worms? Nefam! Meet 22-year-old Mayra Gomez, also known as Cunha Poranga. Who is this woman and why is she eating worms? Nefam! Meet 22-year-old Mayra Gomez, also known as Cunha Poranga, an indigenous woman from the Amazon forest who has at least 6 million people subscribe to her everyday life. It all started when she posted a video of her eating this, a fat, wriggly coconut worm going straight to her mouth. Since then, people were hooked. They were fascinated with her jungle lifestyle. So she started posting more and more about her precious culture and traditions, what they eat for lunch, how they paint their faces. And this is just so nice to see because the sad fact remains. The indigenous people are still underrepresented and misunderstood today. So Nightfam, let's send our well wishes to May so she can continue to proudly showcase her culture to the world.
I just accidentally sent a priest to hell. I hope that doesn't hurt my chances of going to heaven. You died. Welcome to the game. Congrats on being a good person.
Oh, thank you.
Great Grandma, what are you doing here?
I'm not too sure.
I'll override your score so you can go to heaven.
out there. I promise I got better.
You've evidently changed.
Thanks, nerd.
Dad, I've been...
What the fuck? Oh.
Would you punch me in the face for